Back to the daily grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Much to nobody's surprise, Tyron Woodley is opening up as the betting favorite, a heavy betting favorite over Nate Diaz for the potential fight at UFC 219. Now, Nate Diaz hasn't fought in a long time. Tyron Woodley is possibly healing up a shoulder injury from his last fight. But this fight came out of nowhere. Nate Diaz has fought at 170 pounds, but he's a natural lightweight. He has definitely not been as successful at 170 as he was at 155, unless you count the biggest victory of his career over Conor McGregor. But the only reason that fight was really at 170 pounds is because Nate Diaz was fighting on short notice. But Nate Diaz is normally a lightweight fighter, 155 pounds. Tyron Woodley is a welterweight champion. So with that being said, it makes sense that these odds say that Nate Diaz is a 2-to-1 underdog and Tyron Woodley is almost a 3-to-1 favorite. You almost got to bet motherfucking $300 to win $100 on Tyron Woodley. Yeah, almost. You get it. Minus 260. Same fucking difference. That's pretty, yeah, that's pretty standard. I'm not too shocked by this. I mean, the only thing that might be a little surprising here is I'm kind of surprised Nate Diaz is even a 2-to-1 underdog. I mean, I fuck with Nate Diaz. He's one of my favorite fighters. But if you're talking about fighting the welterweight champion, I just don't see that. But that's just me. I know a lot of people are like, oh, but he's got the cardio, you know, he can outlast Tyron. Well, we've seen Tyron Woodley in his last few fights. If he believes cardio is going to be an issue, he'll strategize accordingly. He'll save his energy. So unless you're really putting the pace on him and breaking him down, trying to break him down in the first couple of rounds, he'll wait on it. You know what I'm saying? He'll wait on it so he doesn't gas out. So, I mean, Nate Diaz probably has a better shot than some people are giving him credit for. Me, maybe. But I mean, it's because we haven't seen him fight in a long time, and this is not his natural weight class, and we're talking about Tyron Woodley here. Now, I will say that I really don't think this fight's going to come to fruition, unfortunately, because somebody did say if they announce this fight, they'll give me $500, so I really do want them to announce this fight. I just don't think it's going to make sense because somebody brought up a good point how when they were having the hearing for the Ali Act with Randy Couture, like one of the judges or one of the people like that were doing the hearing said, so you guys are going to tell me you guys go off of rankings, but you let George St. Pierre come out of nowhere and fight for a belt above his weight class. So they were saying if Nate Diaz comes out of nowhere and fights for a belt above his weight class, and on top of that, you know, he's probably never been in the top 5 of the welterweight division, that would kind of help, you know, or that would kind of hurt the UFC's case, you know, with as far as their argument against the Ali Act and all of that shit. So this is interesting. I would love if this fight got scheduled low-key just so somebody would donate $500. That would be tight. But the farther and farther we get, the less I think it's going to happen. I mean, I do think Nate Diaz will come back and Tyron Woodley's going to come back, but I just don't know if it's going to be against each other. To me, what makes the most sense is Tyron Woodley versus Colby Covington and Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. So with that being said, it is what it is. Nate Diaz has opened up as an underdog. Tyron Woodley's the heavy favorite in their potential UFC 219 scrap, which might or might not happen. So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what the fuck you tell me in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOG.